गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राम Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. राम संकीर्तन की, शील प्रभुपाद की। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So meeting after a good amount of time. So today we'll continue with the same theme. Along with that, we'll take one shloka and then we'll come back to the last time what we discussed about 5.5.2. Today we'll recite 3.25.20, third canto, 25th chapter, 20th verse. So 25th chapter, the title is The Glories of Devotional Service. The text 20. Prasang, prasa, Prasangam ajaram pasham atmana kavayo vidu स एव साधु सुकृतो मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम्. Translation purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees, open the door of liberation. Purport. Here it is clearly stated that attachment for one thing is the cause of bondage in conditioned life. The same attachment, when applied to something else, opens the door of liberation. Attachment cannot be killed, it has simply to be transferred. Attachment for material things is called material consciousness. Attachment for Krishna or his devotee is called Krishna consciousness. Consciousness, therefore, is the platform of attachment. It is clearly stated here that when we simply purify the consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, we attain liberation. Despite this statement that one should give up attachment, desirelessness is not possible for a living entity. A living entity by constitution has the propensity to be attached to something. We see that if someone has no object of attachment, if he has no children, then he transfers his attachment to cats and dogs. This indicates that a propensity for attachment cannot be stopped. It must be utilized for the best purpose. Our attachment for material things perpetuates our conditional state. But the same attachment, when transferred to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee, is the source of liberation. Here it is recommended that attachment should be transferred to a self-realized devotees, the sadhus. And who is a sadhu? A sadhu is not just an ordinary man with a saffron robe or a long beard. A sadhu is described in Bhagavad Gita as one who unflinchingly engages in devotional service, even though one is found not to be following the strict rules and regulations of devotional service. If one simply has unflinching faith in Krishna, the Supreme Person, he is understood to be a sadhu. Sadhur eva sa samantavya. A sadhu is a strict follower of devotional service. It is recommended here that if one at all wants to realize Brahman or spiritual perfection, his attachment should be transferred to a sadhu or a devotee. Lord Chaitanya also confirmed this. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hai. Simply by a moment's association with a sadhu, one can attain perfection. Mahatma is a synonym of sadhu. It is said that service to Mahatma or elevated devotee of the Lord is Dwaram Ahur Vimukti, the royal road of liberation. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. Rendering service to the materialist has the opposite effect. If anyone offers service to a gross materialist or a person engaged only in sense enjoyment, then by association with such a person, the door of the hell is opened. The same principle is confirmed here. Attachment to a devotee is attachment to the service to the Lord. Attachment to a devotee is attachment to the service of the Lord, because if one associates with a sadhu, the result will be that the sadhu will teach him how to become a devotee, a worshipper, and a sincere servitor of the Lord. These are the gifts of a sadhu. These are the gifts of a sadhu. If we want to associate with a sadhu, we cannot expect him to give us instruction on how to improve our material condition. But he will give us instruction on how to cut the knot of contamination of material attraction and how to elevate ourselves in devotional service. That is the result of associating with the sadhu. Kapil Muni first of all instructs that the path of liberation begins with such association. Nice purport. So prasangam ajaram pasham atmana kavayo vidu. So eva sadhu shukurtu moksha dwaram pavrat. This is what it. And what was the 5.5.2 shloka? What we discussed, what we started in the initial days. पढ़ा मैंने अभी महत्स्याम द्वारम आहुर विमुक्तेस. Same द्वारम आहुर विमुक्तेस and here moksha dwaram apavritam. Similar things. So basically, when attachment is developed for the sadhu, then the doors to liberation are they are not just opening. Like you may someone this door may be half open, and someone is coming. But then here is talking about not just open door, completely open door. Like in temple we have doors. Like I was just today morning thinking, in winters we want to close the doors, and summers we want to open the door. You know. But then you sometimes the door may be half open. But here is saying simply by that attachment to sadhu or service to a sadhu, that door will be wide open, completely open. So anyone of any size can enter. There's no harm in. So everyone can enter in this. Elsewhere in first canto says another shloka, nice shloka. Shushushoshadda dhanasya vasudeva katha ruchi syan mahat sevaya vipra punyatirtha nishevanat. You heard this shloka before? Just read the translation. 1.2.16. Quote wise-born sages, by rendering those devotees who are completely freed from the all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. So this is the effect of actually doing Mahat Seva. When you serve Vaishnavas or a devotee, one of the effect which should come in our life is, what is the effect? Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. So someone may say, okay, I don't have Vasudeva Katha Ruchi, I don't have taste for hearing, I don't have taste for reading, I don't have taste for any of the messages. Sometimes Bhagavatam class. So one should begin with Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. What wise one says, please, this is the way to the get that taste. This is Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. Prabhupada writes in this purport, uh, he talks about asuras and devatas in the beginning. He talks how at times asuras, these asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors in different countries according to the supreme will. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord, and when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as empowered incarnation of the Lord, as sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or as associates of the Lord. But none of them falsely claim that he himself is God. This is a blasphemy declared by the Asuras, the demonic followers of the Asuras who also accept pretenders as God or his incarnation. The servants of the God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to God. The servants of God are called Mahatmas or Tirthas, and they preach according to particular time and place. The servants of the God urge people to become devotees of the Lord. They never tolerate being called God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself according to the indication of the revealed scriptures, but he played the part of the devotee. So he keeps on discussing many things. Servants of the God come to propagate God consciousness, and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of the God, one can please God more than by directly serving the Lord. Another direct statement of Prabhupada. If you want to please Krishna more, then the best ways to serve his devotees. Like we say, serve me, serve my dog. It is a nice saying. So when someone invests, when someone takes care of someone's dogs nicely, he feels okay. He's taking much more care of me. So they see the what was writing the purport also how we have this attachment. That attachment is we have to put somewhere. And similarly, here when you serve the devotee of Krishna, he becomes more pleased. So we're talking about his doors to hell. Like in this shloka, the previous shloka, what we began with last time. In that, it was talking about how what leads to this hell. What is the path towards hell? The attachment for the Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. One is to get attached to the you can say like a woman and someone who is there are two things. Someone is attached to the woman and someone is having the tendency of doing that thing. Like, we'll just discuss that in detail. Associating with one who is Sri Sangi. One is attachment to the woman, what we may have. But second is that attachment to a Sri Sangi. You getting what I'm saying? Which is more dangerous? Second one. Why it is more dangerous? Huh? Okay. Any other thoughts? Yes, it will moreover increase the tendency. Like I remember in 2012, I got a kidney stone. And I went to doctor, then he gave some treatment. He said, my purpose is not to just remove the stone from your kidney, but my purpose is that the tendency of forming stones be removed from the kidney. The tendency he wanted to remove. So yes, the Sri Sangi primarily because of why we are so much worried about not to associate with Sri Sangi, because that leads to a tendency of doing these things multiple times. So there are two kinds of asat. What are the two kinds of asat? One who is attached to a woman, that is one level of asat, and sense gratification, and the other is simply a non-devotee. Two asats. First asat is what? One is attached to a woman and sense gratification. The second asat is what? One is simply a non-devotee. Like we have example of Banthara and Kaikai. In that thing, what has happened? So what was that association? What Kaikai received? Yes, so Kaikai fell because of paying submissive oral reception to Banthara. This words comes in first canto. We should have submissive oral of reception. This is a SAR, SAR SAR. और मोबाइल या सार पता है आपको मोबाइल को सार एक लिमिट होता है देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज रेडिएशन का देयर इज सम लिमिट फॉर द मोबाइल कॉल्ड सार But this sar is actually which is very important for us. Or in Marathi also they call sar. Sar matlab ampty or something like essence. So here is the actual sar is what? For spiritual life, the sar is submissive oral reception. And in either case, when you do this, you get either benefited in positive or negatively. Like when you have proper submissive oral reception to the message what you're hearing, the same message can create a revolution in the consciousness. And what here Manthara did of doing a submissive oral reception to, sorry, the what Kaikai did of doing with Manthara, that same thing had a negative effect. There's another example between Hanuman and Rama. So why I'm comparing these two examples here? So Manthara, when he spoke, and Kaikai did submissive oral reception, there was a different effect, a negative effect. In case of Ram and Hanuman, when they met for the first time, and then there was conversation happened. That also had a different effect in Hanuman, because Hanuman that led to his more surrender to Ram. In the first case, what happened is in the first example of Manthara and Kaikai, because of that association, Ram was separated from Kaikai. Now, because of the see Hanuman, what he Hanuman did, that meeting was one thing, but when Hanuman went to Lanka, what he did was he brought Sita and Ram together. These two are like two different aspects. From the human body, one can gain deliverance or fall down. The cause of both lies in the human body. Yoshitam is another place the word Yoshitam comes in the Prahlad Maharaj section. Matirna Krishna Parato Satova Vito Bibittet Griha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishitam Tamishram Puna Charvita Charvananam. What is talking here? Because of their uncontrolled senses, person too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew the that which is already being chewed. They keep on doing the same thing again and again. That's why they are called as what? Yoshitam. Now there are two things. One is called Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. The second thing is Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya. These ये अलग अलग terms है. What is Yoshitam Sangi Sangam? Correct. And the other thing is Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya. So attachment to a Trisangi may lead to hell. And Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya. This word comes in first canto 18th chapter, 13th shloka. The value of moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot be even compared to attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of worldly benediction in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Just imagine the value of moment's association with a devotee, so much is glorified. One moment association, I see how much association we get. So now this weekend we have Amarendra Prabhu will be coming. He'll be coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's here. Friday and Sunday is giving class in NVCC. Yesterday night we got update. So we are updating you. You're the first one to know this. Apart from Radesh Shampoo, this is a thought to update you. I'm saying so much easily it is available for all of association. We can just know someone may come, yeah, that's wonderful. But we have online also have facility where we can always associate with so many devotees. And moreover, like last time I was telling you, people may come from outside and then we may associate with them. We in the process forget to associate with the devotees around us. They also devotees, right? They may not be like perfected, like they may not be like what we call it, uh, pure devotees, but they're like potential pure devotees. Today they are not pure devotees. Maybe after some time they'll become pure, but they are taking bath in the process of taking bath. That's why they are also uh, uh, in the process. Because they are in the process, so that's why. Did I discuss about this? We have this five potent forms of devotional service. We have five potent forms of devotional service. What are they? One is sadhu sangha. Other is bhagavad shravan, mathuravas, Shri Murtira Satshraddhara Sevan, and Nam Sankirtan. Right? And then if you see another place, I don't remember exactly Shloka from CC, it is mentioned, even if someone associates with one of the five, and that too for a very alpasanga, word used there, alpasanga, someone takes, or even one of them, it has a full potency of invoking the love of God in one's heart, right? है ना, ये पांच में से एक भी करेंगे आप, हम एक एक को देखेंगे, then we'll understand. So see, हरिनाम संकीर्तन और नाम संकीर्तन और जपा we understand. Okay, we chant Hare Krishna, then for sure we do that. Shri Murtira Sadhyana, there may be some qualifications for that. Someone requests to second initiated, or we may have in our center we can just do normal worship. That anyways we can do. There's no hurdle in that. But the other thing is, Mathura Vas or going to Dham, that requires traveling and so much arrangement to do that. And then what else is in Bhagavad Shravan or Bhagavad reading, that we have, then we have to access the book, take a book and read and go. See, these four things, it's very easy to for us to understand. Okay, by doing this thing, even one of them, I can certainly develop love of God. Certainly. The fifth one, association, sadhu sangha. Sometimes you feel, अरे साधु संग से कैसे हो पाएगा? Why I'm saying this? Because sometimes we may associate with each other, thinking, अरे I need that association, then only I can get love of God. But we fail to see that here is a potential association available for me around me, where also I can. So many times when we discuss with devotees or spend time with devotees, that is also basically what on the potent form of devotional service. One can't say, "और ठीक है यार मैंने devotees से जनरल बात किया." See, devotees may there are two things that devotees may do. Krishna Katha is one thing, what we do certainly. But when we discuss about well-being for someone, like I may have some struggle, for example. I may discuss with my friend. So it doesn't is will this come in the category of the real association, or it is just a result of what we're doing? Discussing about well-being for someone, like I am discussing with someone like for you, for example. Prabhu, I am this a struggle. Please help me in all those things. Or this is the thing which I am facing in my life. So this discussion comes in which category? Is it a prajalpa or is it a okay just a waste of time? Or can it help us to really develop this love of God? Is what I'm trying to say here is sometimes we may have a very weird understanding of having Krishna Katha amongst each other. You may think, okay, I say one passion of Krishna, he tells one passion of Krishna, then goes on like that. That is Krishna Katha. That is one form Krishna Katha for sure. Along with that, this is also which is required. We I remember Devamrit Maharaj and Pradhanath Maharaj, they were sitting hours together. So one servant asked Maharaj, so Maharaj, you were discussing so long. What we were discussing? So Maharaj said we were discussing about our initial early days, how it was, what it was, what no, what type of life we had in our initial days. So I'm just saying it's a very, very normal when they discuss great souls, when you see them, you get to see them. When talking to each other, they're very normal, very grounded, down to earth, talk things. Like I was telling you, sometimes Chetan Chand was making this point, and sometimes we may give a uh, too much of a big philosophical or spiritual scriptural reason. Sometimes we say the solution is very simple. Okay, you are sick, then take a medicine, get recovered. Why do we need to connect everything with your karma? Why we need to get everything with some philosophical point? Just take medicine. It's a simple solution for it. So similarly, again, it may happen that it doesn't mean that right from our initial days, okay, we tell our anarthas, he tells us. So we don't do anartha katha for sure because we don't know other person. Sometimes we may tell out of seeking help, but the other person may not be ready. Other side, and he may get more affected than what we have, and then we have to like the whole thing gets into completely different direction. So in initial days, for sure, at least another katha should not happen. We can discuss some nice thing what we hear in class, some nice thing what we read. That is good. And gradually, as we progress and as we become mature in Krishna consciousness, then these things can be done. Otherwise, what happens is then we may end up in a, we may find a, we may create a problem which is like much more difficult to deal with than the original thing. It may happen. So many things what which came about qualities of Mahatmas. What two purports what we read. There also we saw how Prabhupada was really emphasizing on Mahatma means there has to be some qualities. So like whenever we do glorification, how do we glorify someone? Or other how we should glorify someone? I'm asking this question. Qualities. है ना? Yeah? And activities. That's more important. Many times we say no, तो प्रभु जी जो है बहुत नम्र है. प्रभु जी is very humble, very tolerant. He's fine, he's humble, he's tolerant. How is tolerant? What makes him tolerant? We generalize, we glorify and generalize way. And उससे क्या होता है ना फिर वो it becomes very superficial glorification. In this one of the Bhagavad Gita class, Prabhu was mentioning that qualities, whenever you describe a quality, that has to be accompanied with an activity. So activity, it's not that you tell a quality and then tell an activity. That's also good, but best is to tell an activity and from that emerges out a quality. Like for example, in yoga kitchen, going on. No? So in yoga kitchen, once someone maybe like afternoon time, it was afternoon time, and then somehow prasadam was just to the point. And then somehow 2 3 devotees were remaining. And then one devotee came early. He made his entire plate, 6 chapatis and rice, dal, sabji, everything. And then suddenly it happened that these 2 devotees came up. But now what happened is this devotee, what he did is he saw these devotees have come. There's no prasad left. So then he took 2 chapatis to one person, 2 chapati to another person, and two remain with him. And same thing with sabji, same thing with rice. So this is an activity. So you tell this activity, immediately what will come out? So this person is so one thing we can say is extending. He could have he might have an appetite of 6 chapatis, but just because others are not taking, he did that sacrifice for them. So always this activity should be glorified, and then that will come out, then quality will emerge out. So what is a basic quality for a Mahatma, by the way? We're talking about Mahatma and then a lot of basic. So what is a baseline quality? So this has to be there. Others may be there. He may be a singer, he may not be a singer. Maybe a player, he may not be a player. He may be a presenter, no, maybe not be a presenter. That is something like additional thing. Our friendship with someone should not depend on some, he has some skill set. Oh, he knows how to play Mridanga, so I'll make friendship with him because then he'll teach me Mridanga. That is somewhere good, somewhere fine, ठीक है मतलब. But उसके लिए उससे दोस्ती नहीं करना है. फिर क्या होगा फिर? Then that will become a center of a relationship. That skill. So similarly for a Mahatma, the basic skill or a basic we can say quality required is we can say is Krishna Eka Sharanam. Someone who has taken shelter of Krishna, and then that makes him a Mahatma basically. That's what Prabhupada was saying. The purport what we read. Someone may not be completely perfected, but he since he has just taken shelter of Krishna, that is sufficient. That one quality is sufficient. That means what? Is there any discussion about nature of a person? अरे इसका और मेरा ना थोड़ा chemistry match नहीं होता. Psychologically we are different. There's no discussion like that comes up. I'm not saying we should not be careful about that aspect. Along with that, what we generally focus is taking shelter of Krishna as a primary quality. In this, the 5.5.2, where there are many qualities mentioned in the last second half of the shloka. Remember, Samachitta, one quality talks about Samachitta. It talks about Prashanta, talks about Vimannaiva, it talks about Suruda, Sadhava. Huh? So we'll just take some examples on these qualities and we'll see how it goes ahead. Samachitta. What is the meaning of Samachitta? Equipoised. So there are two meanings to it. One is a devotee meaning, one is the impersonalist meaning. Because even impersonalist is also kind of at times equal. है ना? So one who sees no differences, that applies to when you say samachitta, one who sees no differences, that applies to who? A impersonalist. For impersonalist, he says everything as one, Brahman. No difference. But for a devotee, the meaning is given one whose heart is sincere. It's called samachitta. So once Prabhupada, if you see from life of Srila Prabhupada, how Prabhupada was samachitta? Was he samachitta by the way? How he was samachitta? Yes, so Prabhupada preached from thieves, like in Jehovah example, someone came to steal the watch of Prabhupada, thief, up to we have hippies and we have scientists, all varieties of people Prabhupada preached. He never like discriminated. So once Prabhupada was invited to in Indore for Gita Jayanti. You know the past time? What happened? Anyone wants to share? Uh,
So then of course they become very angry. That even if you go to a political meeting, then you have the photos of Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru and all. So here you are discussing about Gita, you don't have the photo of Krishna and Arjuna.
hmm.
So but then told his disciples to give class, we don't give to
Last one.
the class. Then told his disciples
Hmm. Yes. So here, uh, so when he went there, so he said that basically they're trying to test Prabhupada, asking his opinions. So Prabhupada, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this? And then as he said, uh, they had kept a lamp there, no picture of Krishna. And then Prabhupada asked the question, where Krishna says in Gita that you worship me as a lamp? There's no reference for that, like that. How you can derive the meaning from that, and you are having the entire Gita Sammelan in this lamp. How that is connected? Then someone said, Swamiji, why are you finding fault? Someone asked Prabhupada like that. Prabhupada said, I am not on the platform of Samachita. I need to distinguish. I'll differentiate. Prabhupada gave a very interesting answer after that. That you may say, I am not where I followed this quality. Whenever I preached Krishna consciousness, I did not do distinction. I gave it equally to everyone. Like we have this shloka, Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Suni Shaiva Sabhakecha, Pandita Samadarshana. So I gave this equally to everyone. Kirata, Hunanda, Pulinda, Pulkesha, Abhir, Shumba, Yavana, Kasadya. To everyone I gave without any discrimination. But here, what's happening? You are kind of, Rupa is finding fault apparently. But for that is for what? That is for his followers. So teach them this is not right thing. This is wrong. They have to understand what is jnanam, what is knowledge, what is darkness. Both things should be very. That's why in the Ishopanishad we have this one shloka discussing about how one should be aware of both. One should know about what is right and what is wrong. Then will be able to do distinction. So Prabhupada said, I am Samadarshi. Why? Because I did not restrict this Bhagavad Gita or knowledge of Krishna only to Indians. I gave it to everyone equally. That's why, in that sense, Prabhupada is Samadarshi, but not in the sense of no distinctions. The second quality is Prashanta. What is Prashanta? Again, some of the qualities, no, they have meaning for impersonalist and meaning for a devotee. Prashanta for a devotee, for impersonalist is what? Prakrishta Rupena Shanta. Matlab, especially they are very, very peaceful. Shanti, Shanti. No activity. So we see for impersonalists, all their qualities and their activities are connected with just peace. They don't do anything which is very actively required. That's why gradually, because the nature of Jiva is to have some activity, they again fall down from there and they do some social service. They open hospitals, they do so many. Hmm. But for a devotee, the meaning is Prashanta means the devotee whose intelligence is fixed in the Lord. Absorbing the intelligence in Krishna, it is called as mental equilibrium. For a devotee, what is Prashanta? Means when he's absorbed, his mind is getting, or his intelligence getting absorbed in Krishna. That is Prashanta for the devotee. Like we have the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling to Rupa Goswami, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shant Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Why they're Ashanta? They are hankering, right? And because they are in real sense, they are not Prashanta. If they were Prashanta, then they would have been actually very peaceful. Basically, when they have become Krishna's devotees, then actually they can become Shant. Prabhupada gave example of dogs with a master and without a master. Sanath versus Anath. Radhe Shambhu many times talks about this. Sanath, Anath. What is Sanath means? Who has some master. What is Anath? Without any master. So person who doesn't have a master, he always will have anxiety. So who's going to take care of me? Who's going to feed me? But for someone who is like uh, is connected to a master, for such kind of personality, what happens? He doesn't have any worry. Like you might have seen a baby sleeping in a lap of a mother. Does he has any worry? Who's going to give me food? Who's going to change my clothes? No worry at all. He knows the baby knows that okay, my mother is going to do all the things for me. Okay. We also have this anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma anavritam. That means what? Anya abhilashita. That means that no desire the devotee has. No other desire. What is other desire means? Any desire apart from Krishna. Any desire which is required for Krishna's service, apart from that, he doesn't have any desire. So in that sense, what is the real Shanti for a devotee? Means for us, this comes in Shikshashtakam. The real Shanti for a devotee is na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va that shloka it goes like that. When someone doesn't have such desires, then the person will become actually peaceful. Just try to see in our own lives also that sometimes we may have some desires. Whenever we have some desires, we really can't be peaceful. Like in my when I was doing MSc, we used to have this project for 6 months, and I was always in anxiety area. There were two options for us. One can do project in college with limited number of hours, and everything is quite peaceful. And second is go to another. We had this NCCS, National Center for Cell Sciences in Pune University. But going there means going from morning till night. Doing there मतलब उनका भी काम करना है आपको और खुद के लिए थोड़ा-थोड़ा बीच में टाइम निकाल के प्रोजेक्ट भी करना है. So you get a big title, no? So I had a project with NCCS. That time we could really see when some of them who are there within the college, they are very peaceful coming in college time, do the project in college time only, go back very peacefully on night. But someone who has taken this, someone like in this lab, for him what happens? He has to take out extra time from the college. Then he comes late. Like whole day goes in there only. So can such person be peaceful? No. Similarly, in our life, we have to really see whenever we're making some choices, what is the effect of that in our Krishna consciousness? If I choose this kind of option for my life, whether I can remain, like whether my Krishna consciousness will go on, like our Susan was telling yesterday, is KC on? Will my Krishna consciousness go on if I do this activity? That we need to see, and that's why the such person actually can be really Shanta. The next quality mentioned here is Vibhanyava, means devoid of anger. So devotee, the Mahatma should be, like we saw two qualities till now. First is Samachitta, second is Prashanta. Third quality is Vibhanyava, means devoid of anger. But we see in life of Srila Prabhupada, all his morning walks, especially the morning walk at Juhu, when he is like, discussing back and forth with Dr. Patel. and he's becoming so. At times now you'll see the Prabhupada. Look, you may not see a video of Prabhupada, but simply hearing the audio, we understand Prabhupada is really taking his case. He's very angry. At time Prabhupada no tells him, you are a pakka Mayavadi. One place he says it. You heard the talk, morning walk? Uh, क्या है उसका नाम 53 minutes का है. uh, Mayavad smashed the name of the morning walk is Mayavad smashed. In that Prabhupada talks. So, but then Prabhupada is contradicting this quality. Is it true? Prabhupada is becoming angry, no? Is it right or wrong? Prabhupada's anger is happening why? Because the person is violating or he is basically talking Mayavad. And it is very essential for a devotee to become angry when someone is talking Mayavad. Giriraj Maharaj went somewhere, I think so Chennai somewhere. And there was someone who really started, speaking Mayavad. Maharaj became very angry. We know Maharaj what type of nature. Now also he's so peaceful, like a small child still. So much innocent. But he also became angry. In the later he wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, this thing happened, I spoke like that. Prabhupada said, yes, you exactly followed what I wanted you to do. I became so happy with him. And there also he writes, Prabhupada writes there how it's a duty of every devotee whenever some such thing is there, he should become angry. So sometimes the parents may beat the child. But the purpose of the parents is not to get joy from beating the child. Or they become angry with the child. The purpose is not to there is some pleasure. Purpose is to protect the child and help the child not to commit the mistakes again. That's why parents may at times become angry. Here the shloka from third canto again. Tikshava Karunika Surda Sarva Dehinam Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. Radheshampu gave the title Sadhu Bhushan came from here. When someone developed this quality, Tikshava Karunika Surda Sarva Dehinam Ajata Shatrava Shanta. And also we have example of from Prabhupada life about Dr. OBL Kapoor. Recently, I got an opportunity to meet the grandson of Dr. OBL Kapoor. He's a devotee, and for your information, this devotee is staying in ashram, Ujjain temple. His name is Anish Prabhu. He may get soon initiated. So he's one of the, I think, so grandson or great grandson of Dr. OBL Kapoor. Grandson, grandson of OBL Kapoor. So Dr. OBL Kapoor was a disciple of Srila Siddhanta Sari Thakur. And once he came to meet our Prabhupada, that time, Abhay Babu. And he said, Abhay Babu, it seems you have a special formula with you. You heard this past time before? Usha Merchant comes. There he says you have a special formula because he said I am able to understand that you are experiencing love of Krishna. So why don't you share your formula? Because that time Abhay Babu was a chemist. He was working with all the formulas, medicine formulas. Can you share the formula with me? What formula you have for this? Which will take us back home, back to God. Do you have a medicine which can help us to take back home, back to God? I said, yes, I have the formula. What is the formula? He said, Stranadapi Sunisena, Saroreva Saishnuna, Amanina Manavana Kirtisada. Dr. Obel Kapoor says, you have that formula. You are practicing that formula. This reminds such an amazing formula. Is it easy to follow? Stranadapi Sunisena, Saroreva Saishnuna. You can just imagine at times, no? Like, I was just talking to one devotee. This devotee was telling me that for us to follow this shloka is very difficult. Willingly. How many of us can follow this shloka willingly? Willingly means I voluntarily become humble. I voluntarily become tolerant. I voluntarily start offering respect to others without expecting anything. Is it possible for us voluntarily or using our free will? No. That's why Krishna bada dayamaya. Krishna is very merciful and Krishna arranges situation for us so that we can practice humility. होता है? We can practice tolerance. Someone may say something to us, or we have many ashram leelas. You put your cloth on a clothesline. The next day morning is smashed, crushed. Along with crushing of that dhoti, your ego also get crushed in that. Or you put your coupon somewhere. Next day morning you find it missing. So these things, why they happen? If someone was telling a story like when someone just initially joined, and then he put his gamcha somewhere, it got missed. He put his dhoti somewhere, it got torn. He put no like he put his bedding somewhere here, it was missing. Why these things happen by then? Why do bad thing happen to good people? What do you feel? So Krishna is helping us actually. See, you can't practice humility. Okay, here is opportunity for you now. Please practice humility. Please practice tolerance. See, Krishna is so kind. He's arranging so many things for us. Prasadam is arranging everything, and here also arranging a situation for us where we can practice humility, tolerance. Why? What is the benefit for us when we practice these four qualities? Then we can do Kirtan Sahari. We can relish the holy name. So see, actually the Karta, the real doer is Krishna in everything. He's only arranging everything and he's making us do things in that sense. So these qualities really help us to focus and align ourselves on the right path. The last quality, the second last quality mentioned here in this shloka is Suruda. Suruda means is friendly to all. So one wants to make others happy without thinking about oneself. So Prabhupada used to always write, "You are ever well wisher." Why he wrote that? You are ever well wisher. Who can be a ever well wisher? See, well wisher, ठीक है. I am your well wisher. You are my well wisher. That's fine. But ever well wisher means come what you do, come what you do good thing, bad thing, anything. I am still your well wisher. So eternally, or an absolute platform, we can say Krishna is actually a well wisher because see, we were sometime we were there in a ant's body, sometimes we are there in the pig's body, sometimes we are in the elephant's body. So Krishna is still accompanying us. So in that sense, Krishna is actually our well wisher. Krishna could have left us long back, but he never gives up that hope upon us. But he feels अरे कभी तो सुधर जाएगा. ठीक है अभी नहीं कल. He will continue like we have this Kailash story we have. Narmani is not willing to give up that hope. ठीक है let now you come back, now you know so much he's doing. Why? Because in the way that how the Krishna is well wished. Similarly, the same line, our spiritual masters and we have Prabhupada was actually our well wisher. Why? Because they never give up on us. So we are another example of Prabhupada. How one of the Prabhupada disciples he gave up sannyas. Then he came to Prabhupada. So he said, Prabhupada told him, at least you come back, stay in ISKCON. He came back, he again took sannyas, again he left, did multiple times. The Prabhupada never gave up upon him. He always accommodated him. So basically, one who never leaves you is called a Suruda. You may say, okay, we have friends, devotee friends also. But sometimes here and there, a little fight happens, we stop talking to each other. होता है ऐसा? आश्रम में काफी होता है तो इसलिए मैं मेरे को लगा इधर भी होता होगा or we not look at each other, we may not offer obeisance to each other, whatever. That means that we are not far away from the definition of Suruda. But actually, who will never leave us, that person is actually Suruda for us. The next quality is Sadhava. What is Sadhava means? Those who do not see fault in others. Sadhava means Sadhava, the word Sadhava. Those who do not see fault in others. Qualified devotees without abominable behavior. Example given of Indra. So Indra was doing a sadhu, wearing a sadhu dress, but doing all wrong activities. That's not sadhava. So sadhu is not just by dress. Prabhupada is mentioning the purport what we read. Sadhu doesn't mean someone is just wearing a saffron dress, saffron robes, and a tilak and a kanti. That makes him sadhu. No. Sadhu becomes a sadhu by qualities of a sadhu. That's why Upadeshamrut tells in one of the important quality of a sadhu is what? One very peculiar quality. Anya ninda adi sunyam. There is no ninda. What is a ninda? Means criticism or blasphemy. Yeah. So generally it is said when we don't glorify, it's an indirect criticism. Yeah. We're not glorifying devotees, Krishna, acharyas. So once we are indirectly criticizing, why? Because there's nothing positive going on. Tendency of the material world is to go down. So we have go down. We have go down for storing things which we don't use. But in this generally tendency that anything naturally goes down in this. You need not do something separate thing for making things go down. Similarly, our consciousness can go very easily down. We may end up in at times at least mentally criticizing. Yesterday we have this teenage boys group. So discussing one article with them. There's a story which came there. There was a king and he had one uska naam tha Buddhiveer. The Buddhiveer was the name of the minister, chief minister. And this Buddhiveer had a teacher who taught him, a guru, who taught him that you should always have a positive thoughts in your mind for anyone. Always carry positive thoughts because positive thought will induce others to have positive thoughts, and negative thoughts will induce others to have negative thoughts for you. Just spontaneously, Guruji told me this lesson, and there may be some deeper understanding of this. So let me try to contemplate, and I'll try to apply this teaching in my life. So this king of this particular province, so he would go for a tour once a month of his kingdom, and he'll look for the infrastructure. He'll check everything is fine, everything is going well. Then according that was his tour. This particular time he went, there was a street made in that kingdom, and then one particular point of the street, it was little bit there was one of the mansions, one of the rich man. Because of that, the street got little bit like this off, थोड़ा सा off हो गया the street. So this time when the king saw, so king said immediately he gave an order. King said, break this mansion and make the road straight. The beauty is getting lost because of this mansion. So this Buddhiviri was there. So he thought, "Arey, my Guruji taught me this, how to apply this." And he was said, "Okay, okay, King, I'll just give you orders to this person. I'll talk to him and update him. This is what King wants to happen." A Buddhivir goes to this rich man's house because of whom the main path got little bit tilted or diverted. And he was talking to him. He said, "Actually, I want to tell you something. King has told like this." And then he just want to check because his teacher has taught him a lesson. I told you, negative thoughts lead to negative things. He just check, do you have some negative feelings for the king in your heart, in your mind? For this person, he got aghast. Hey, what you're talking? How we can have like this? He's our king. He's a respectable king. He's doing good. He's collecting taxes, using for the welfare of the everyone. Why should some negative for the king? But then he said no. But still, he said okay. Just try to think. Maybe something may be there. Little bit he tried to persuaded him. And then later, this person said, actually, in my go down, I have a huge stock of chandan, sandalwood. And few days back, I was just thinking, if someone from the royal palace dies, then this chandan can be sold to them, and I can get money for that, and the stock will get finished. So what he thought in his mind, in some way negative for the king or king's family, someone should die from that because royal order है. तो मरते हो तो हम जैसे नॉर्मल वुड तो यूज नहीं करेंगे वो लोग दे नीड चंदन सो ऑल माय चंदन वी यूटिलाइज देयर है ना and then when he heard this Buddhi he could really relate yes what Guruji is saying is true and then he gave a proposal to him he said what I do is I'll purchase all this chandan from you all chandan I'll purchase you give your thought whatever you have Buddhivir purchased all the chandan and then after that after some time the next month comes up in the meantime again the king goes out on the same street and then the king is there on the street and then he says to Buddhivir did you give order to this person what I gave Buddhivir said sorry sir I was very busy with things purposely did it for sure but he said like that I was very busy with things so I could not communicate that thing but I can communicate him today now no don't tell him I have changed my mind. Let the street be whatever it is. And then later, the God thing got solved. Just imagine what has happened here. Why I told this story? Because many times such things happens in our mind also. We also become like that rich mansion person. We may at times have some negativity in somewhere deep of the mind for someone. It can be for anyone. And that's why me if यार वो व्यक्ति मेरे से ऐसा behave क्यों किया? The connection is here. Connection is here. Because we have some harboring some negativity for someone. That's why we are also getting some reflection of negativity in our life from the other person. So I am saying this thing. मैंने story क्यों बोला? Similarly, when you criticize someone, even in the mind, same effect is seen. If you have problem with someone, go to the person, talk to him, sort it out. Sorry बोल दो या फिर जो भी है sort कर लो. But sometimes we become ready to carry a huge luggage of negativity. It's like you want to throw. It's like having a hot coal in hand. The desire that someday I will throw that on someone. But in the process, what happens? Our hand only gets burnt. So you may carry negativity for someone in our heart because sometimes we may not have ability to say to someone maybe elder than us. The other person may be very strong in his nature. तो उसको बोलना, उसको कुछ करना हम कर नहीं पाते होंगे। पर हम क्या करें अंदर के अंदर उसको रखेंगे। उससे क्या होगा? We only get affected internally. That's one thing which happens. Second thing is we also get a because we have see it's very subtle science. वो subtly ना वो सारा मैसेज पास होता है सामने वाले को। अरे ये व्यक्ति ना मेरे बारे में थोड़ा नेगेटिव सोच it affects it affects our consciousness, it affects others consciousness, like the example what we saw. So if you want to really give the propensity to criticize others, we have to develop an up and desire to glorify others. Sometimes it may be not natural for us to glorify others, है ना? तो जब नेचुरल कुछ होता नहीं तो उसको क्या करना चाहिए हमको? Like for why do we do sadhana bhakti? You see, the ultimate is raganuga bhakti. Raganuga is spontaneous devotional service. But for spontaneity to happen, first we have to do sadhana. We have to practice it. Like for a cricketer to play nicely in the cricket match or spontaneously in a cricket match is to do a good net practice. Similarly, we have to do sadhana bhakti nicely. But at least we should try make it as just like we may feel sadhana kar. तो जस्ट लाइक साधना कर हम लोग भरते हैं उसी तरह से हमको क्या करना चाहिए कि आज मैंने कितने डिवोटीज को ग्लोरीफाई किया क्या ग्लोरीफाई सम डिवोटीज टुडे इनिशियली इट में अपेयर बी आर्टिफिशियल लग रहा है वो आर्टिफिशियली कर रहा हूँ मैं तो मैं फील ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कुछ बट एटलीस्ट वी आर डूइंग इट and gradually as we keep on doing like someone said to Prabhupada I am not feeling to offer you obeisances है ना Prabhupada क्या बोले offer obeisances then feeling will come similarly now we may not feel to glorify devotees start doing it gradually feeling will also come at the practice and then over and above if you see it is the association which creates aspiration you want to have some aspiration if you want to develop some aspiration in life it is association only which can help us to develop that aspiration like for example we were discussing on glorifying others when we can actually glorify others when we associate with someone who we see him glorifying others naturally by associating with him we understand how is prioritizing how is not trying to find every small good thing what is able to see. See what is to criticize him means what we try to find the smallest bad thing the person does and amplify it. And exactly opposite of that is glorification where we try to see smallest good thing the person can do and amplify it. Glorification. And see when we are discussing on this Mahat Seva, you see how long proper disciples or they will be there around. Origin was saying this decade, what is what we are in now, this will be called as decade of tears. But by the end of this decade, majority or the most of the proper disciples would have been one bhakti got it. Later we may not have opportunity. So then we can just see videos or whatever, just relish that later. But now we have opportunity. We should utilize that in a very proper way. I told that example of a mall. Jayapataka Maharaj, when he was a child, they used to get some gift vouchers. Like we have Jivda used to give, they give you gift voucher for the marathon. So during his school, Jayapataka Maharaj, they would have a voucher but they'll get an opportunity to go to a mall with a trolley, and the first buzzer will ring. So they'll have maybe like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, water they can collect that that cart. They have to fill it, and when the at the fifth minute when the buzzer will ring, now later they can take anything. So whatever they have taken, they have taken. That's it. So for us, the first buzzer is gone. That is the we have taken birth. The next buzzer is death, which we don't know when is going to ring. So how much we should be like eager to do all these things. मतलब हमको कितना वो जो व्यक्ति होता है ना मतलब the person who is very very greedy वो कैसे भर लेता है. Previously might have seen in some older movies where someone gets bold ऐसा उसको भरता है एकदम. हमको इस तरह से ये सारी सर्विस को इतना भरना चाहिए. Like see, we have of course see, Krishna has blessed us with nice hands, eyes, ears. So how much we should be eager? Like for example, I first time when we went, we in 2000, I think so 8 or 9, there was a swine flu which had come in Pune. The whole Pune was shut down. That was the first lockdown we had. That time, Janmashtami time, it has happened. So what we had done is all our voice devotees as well as many brahmacharis they went to Hampi for celebrating Janmashtami. We were staying there, and Chetan Prabhu had come there that time. A lot of whole day camp and classes, and so nice time we had. A lot of training happened. So the first time in my life I saw. Till that time I'd never danced. First time I saw Chetan Prabhu. He had his crutch in one hand, and in that he was dancing, rotating. I was thinking, Are Baba, like Prabhuji has one leg which is having issue. Still is so much interested to dance. Krishna is blessed with two legs. Why we should not dance? What if in future the power goes away? We'll not able to dance again. Now we have eyes which we can see the beauty of the Lord. Why we should not take darshan very frequently? We have nice ears. We are able to hear nicely. Why we should not hear from our spiritual masters, or we hear from Srila Prabhupada, or hear the holy name nicely? We have, of course, we have to say this. We have nice tongue. We can taste so nice prasad. Or we have nice tongue to glorify devotees. As the age passes, the power of tongue also reduces. Basically, I saw in my mother's case also when gradually when you're close to death, your tongue you can't function with your tongue. You can't speak. But now I have tongue. I can speak nicely. Why can't I glorify Krishna? Why can't I glorify devotees? So we have it now. Should utilize it. Later, when we not have it, we can just that time we will either we can repent or we can remember. Okay, I should do these things in my early days. Now we have it. Let's utilize it nicely. That's why uh, our Sarva Bhattacharya has written a Chaitanya Shatak, 100 shlokas glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in which he says one shloka, he says, Samsara Sarpa Drashtanam Murchitam Kalau Yuge Aushadam Bhagavan Nama Srimad Vaishnava Sevanam. Samsara Sarpa Drashtanam. Samsara, there is a Sarpa. What is Sarpa? Samsara. Samsara is like a Sarpa. And the people of this Kali Yuga, they are like bitten by this Sarpa, snake of the Kali Yuga. And because of that, they have become what? Murchitanam Kalau Yuge. They have become unconscious. But what is the remedy for this? What is the medicine? There are two medicines, he says. Two medicines are Aushadham, Bhagwan Nama. The first medicine is Bhagwan Nama, chanting the holy names of the Lord. The second Aushadha is Srimad Vaishnava Sevanam. Not the Sevanam. Sevanam is to serve the Vaishnava. That is the second medicine. Chanting the holy names and serving the Vaishnava, the only medicine for the living entities tormented by Kali. Is there anyone here who is not tormented by Kali? All of us, somewhere or other. So, since we're tormented, if we just take these two medicines, then we can revive our consciousness back. Another shloka he says, Vishavishta Murkhanam Chitta Samskaram Aushadam Vishrambhena Guru Seva Vaishnav Uchishta Bhojanam. That's the next shloka to this, what we said. विषयाविष्ट मतलब क्या? व्हाट इज विषयाविष्ट? हाँ, विषय में आविष्ट मतलब विषय के अंदर मतलब इन सेंस कोई तो डूबा है मतलब भोग करने में। विषयाविष्ट मूर्खानाम। और कैसे लोग ये मूर्ख व्यक्ति विषय में घुस जाता है। चित्त संस्कारम औषधम। और चित्त के ऊपर संस्कार करना है, उसके ऊपर परिवर्तन करना है। वी नीड सम मेडिसिन औषधम फॉर दैट। व्हाट इज दैट औषधम? विश्रम्भेन गुरु सेवा। मतलब विश्रम्भेन गुरु सेवा to serve the spiritual master. Vaishnava Uchishta Bhojanam. The remnants of the Mahaprasad means Mahamaha of a devotee to take that remnants. So these are two medicines. The only medicine to cleanse the heart for the foolish people absorbed in material desires is to serve the spiritual master with faith and determination and to eat the Vaishnava's remnants. We should aspire for that. Mahamaha of devotees. I think so. We should stop 8:36. Okay, sorry. Time. देखा नहीं. So these are two solutions what we discussed today. Primarily. Any questions?
For the female ladies,
Female
ladies,
female leads.
rather on
Uh,
so at that time you shouldn't see the chest or the so if you don't feel any ill or that was it is okay you have the
if you are asking that while taking the darshan of Srimati Radharani or Srimati Maharani, someone may get ill thoughts. Puja is to dress the deities. You have to dress them, you have to wipe them, bathe them. So obviously, if that is creating a disturbance for us, one can avoid because uh, uh, then the main thing will not remain the main thing. Then our main thing is the what in this case that we should develop absorption on Krishna. If that is like, for example, even in Krishna book, there are some sections the devotees when they feel little bit different, then they are told to skip sections. Along with that, when you understand tattva properly, tattva, who is Krishna, who is Srimati Radharani, then by knowing that tattva, it becomes very easy for us to approach them. So we see Chaitanya Charitamrita has three parts: Adi, Madhya, Antya. Adi Leela talks about tattva, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Nityananda Prabhu, who is Advaitacharya, who are the Vaishnavas, who is Panchatattva. Madhya Leela talks about actions based on tattva. So knowing very well Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, knowing very well the position of Nityananda Prabhu, devotees are acting with them. And Antya talks about experience. Mahaprabhu experiencing the ecstasy, or devotees having nice time with each other. Experience. So if the tattva is right, then application becomes easy. And the experience becomes wonderful or blissful. But if the tattva is not very clearly established, because the tattva level only we feel okay, we get disturbed by seeing a deity of Srimati Radharani. And better is to like avoid. So best क्या है उसमें? What is the best thing? Is actually we can pray to them only because they are personalities. It's not that a part of deity has become now Krishna. Recently we had installation of in Kolhapur, Radha Madhav. It's not that the deity, the part of deity has become Krishna now. The deity is Krishna actually. No different, non different. But deity is Srimati Radharani, they're non different. And like we have the deities are called as Archa Vigraha or Archa Avatar. And every avatar has a specific purposes, functions. Like, sometimes you may see there are invaders who are destroying the deities, and then people say, why did not deities protect them? But we see the purpose of the deities is what? To accept service from the devotees. They become like, the way devotees want to deal with them. They become. Now, devotees, they want to feed them something, they accept it. Devotees want to bathe them, they accept it. They are in the mood of accepting it. That's their purpose of, that avatar purpose. Like we have Shrimad Bhagavatam is called as, they are called as Charcha Vigraha. Archa Vigraha, they are called Charcha Vigraha, where we do Charcha. The way to worship Shrimad Bhagavatam is to do Charcha on Shrimad Bhagavatam. That's the way to worship them. So now, as I said, like if in Srimad Bhagavatam somebody is disturbing us, we avoid it, not do it. So better is to do that under proper guidance. If we can disturb, you speak with our counselors or authorities who are there. Then they may guide us, do this, do not. Specifically, case to case. We can't have a generalized solution for that. It's very person to person. No, see, point is that now we should not test Maya also. होता ना कि अरे लेट मी सी हाउ मच टॉलरेंट आई एम, लेट मी सी हाउ मच सेंस कंट्रोल आई एम, जाके मैं देखूंगा भी, आई जस्ट गिव एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल, लेट मी सी ओके आई मे सी टुवर्ड्स गर्ल्स इन और माता जी इन अ डिफरेंट वे, सी मैं तो अभी कितना आई हैव बिकम इम्यून टू, मैं वैसा भी नहीं करना चाहिए। अगर आपको थोड़ा सा भी आपको डाउट है कि देयर मे बी समथिंग व्हिच मे समथिंग लेट अस अवॉइड इट, लेट्स नॉट टेक रिस्क। द बेस्ट टू सी द लोटस फीट ऑफ श्रीमती राधा रानी, like whenever you when we do dressing, there also we have a kind of a certain protocol where we don't offer garland directly to Srimati Radharani. गार्लैंड पहनाते ना डीटीज को, तो राधारानी को डायरेक्ट ऐसा ऐसे गले में हार नहीं पहनाते उनको। फर्स्ट व्हाट वी डू, वी टच द हैंड्स ऑफ श्री कृष्ण, देन वी पुट इन श्रीमती राधारानी नेक। उससे क्या जाता है थॉट, आई एम सेइंग दे आर आल्सो सो केयरफुल, ऐसा लाइक आवर स्मॉल डीटीज उत्सव विग्रह, they have मंगलसूत्र, राधारानी मंगलसूत्र, well bathing we remove it, but again when you are putting it after dressing Srimati Radharani, we put in, we touch the hands of Vrindavan Chandra, knowing that now Vrindavan Chandra is putting that too, or on behalf of Vrindavan Chandra, I am just doing that service too. Why that is given? मैं जो सोच रहा था एक बार ऐसा क्यों किया है, ये सिस्टम क्यों लगाया है? Because there is a normal tendency that we may feel अरे so I am putting to Srimati Radharani just to protect all of us, वो ऐसा किया है। So why to unnecessary try that, okay अगर मेरे को नहीं, मैं agitate नहीं हो रहा तो let me also see। So one amazing thing about our Vrindavan Chandra is that Radharani is, I think so, one of the closest Radharanis we have next to Krishna. That also give us understanding. So she is so close to Krishna. Why to see unnecessary? Of course, pujaris may see in a different. See, actually, what happened? The way someone is doing service, based on that he sees. Like we do dressing. We go outside sometime. No, we're traveling somewhere here and there. We get to see so many big billboards, jewelry advertisement. माता जो कान में पहन के है, गले में नेकलेस पहना है. So what a pujari will see. अरे what if वृंदावन चंद्र श्रीमती राधा रानी get this necklace? उसका पूरा मेडिटेशन हो जाता है. He may see a sari somewhere. अरे this sari is what Radha Rani, how beautiful it will be, how nice it will be. A preacher also sees the same thing in a particular way. जैसे कहा अरे what if ये लोग अगर भक्त बन गए तो, अरे ये लोग भक्त बन गए तो, ये लोग कितना बड़े हैं कैसे हैं. So I am saying the way we get absorb ourselves in some aspect of Krishna consciousness, that's what we see everywhere. वो आने के बाद फिर हम कर सकते हैं वैसा, मतलब इन द सेंस कि सेफ, स्टिल सेफ, बट रिस्क तो है, हर जगह रिस्क है. Risk is that, so someone asked the question, where is Maya? Or other I can say, is Maya present in altar? I'm asking. Maya is everywhere, even in altar. In a way, because we may carry inner consciousness. That's, or we may see someone as Maya. In the sense कि अरे वो आपको frustrate कर जो भी कर रहा है. So it's up to us. Like for example, पुजारी में ऑफर आरती और जब घूम रहा है पीछे ऐसा भक्तों में, you may see someone or something that may also stuck, उसका माइंड वहाँ पे अटक सकता है ना. He is offering आरती to supreme person of Godhead standing there himself. like उसका अगर properly, that's why I was saying, no, like the one part of important part of deity worship is ijja, or it's called as our sadhana. Sadhana, sorry, swadhyay, not ijja, swadhyay. Swadhyay is an important aspect for deity worship and for everything. Everything. To take any aspect of, if someone is serving kitchen, important aspect is swadhyay. Someone is, uh, like doing book distribution, important is swadhyay. Someone is preaching Krishna consciousness, important is swadhyay. That's not the basis, then there's every chance we can get diverted anywhere and everywhere, right on the altar. So basically, we need to be careful. ठीक है? Thank you. हरे कृष्णा. श्रील प्रभुपाद की